Hey there viewers, it's Charlie, I'm back again, and this is going to be my last review of 2020. Well, this has certainly been quite a year. I mean, we did have that huge pandemic throughout the entire year, but Transformers-wise, we've got Kingdom figures coming out, we've got the Studio Series movie figures, well, the 86 movie figures. And well, for me at least, this is the year I brought back my YouTube videos. Because if you remember all those years ago when I started my channel, my voice was high-pitched, I was really cringy, my jokes were cancer-inducing. I mean, some things don't change, but I like to think that I've definitely improved with my videos nowadays. But before I go off on a tangent, today's review is going to be on a figure I got for Christmas. And already he's one of my favorite figures. Today's review will be on Cybertron Optimus Prime. Well, let's just say our worlds are in danger. As you can see, Prime here is a fire engine, or it's supposed to be a futuristic fire engine, as seen with the... This looks like it's supposed to be a ladder, although this part also says that this could also be a water cannon, so I don't really know. I'm trying to straighten the figure out, because it looks like his wheels are off the ground there. Yeah, whatever. Here we can see a lot of cool detailing on the side. We have what looks like... Well, if you remember my review on Energon Inferno, I commented on the little stabilizer thing when I was comparing him with his G1 namesake. Well, as you can see, this stabilizer thing carries on to Cybertron Optimus. So, as I said, he's supposed to be a futuristic fire engine. The back, where we've got a bit more detailing. The other side, and I think when they made this particular copy of the figure, the toy designers accidentally had a paint mishap, it looks like. Well, having a look at the actual cab section, we can see the sirens, which is pretty cool. The windows are actually kind of angular, and the white underneath is reminiscent of the white stripe from Generation 1 Prime. Oh. The side, which has this blue bit, which... Come on. This is obviously supposed to be his robot mode chest windows. They're just on the side here. Now, if that does bother you, you can fold them around, although if you look around the back bit, yeah. But if you're bothered by the robot mode chest windows on the side of the vehicle, you can always do that. But the official transformation is supposed to be like this. Now, seeing how this is a Cybertron figure, we need to show the Cyberkey gimmick, or gimmicks. First of all, well, as you can see, I am missing the gun, but... oh well. Now, normally his Cyberkey is supposed to be a special one that looks like the Autobot Matrix, although I don't have that, so... I'm just going to use a regular Earth Cyberkey. If you plug it into here... it flips out these little missile launchers, you see? It just flips these out. And it's not even doing that now for some reason. There we go. Well, it flipped out just the one, but eh. And if you had the missiles, you could fire them at these. Although, of course, I don't have the missiles. And the other side, which is the ladder / water cannon, well, right here you can see that there's a button and there's the stuff for the batteries, the thing for the batteries to put in. If you push that blue button while the thing's not activated, it plays this noise. And honestly, I have no idea what that noise is supposed to be. But if you plug in a cyber key, it opens this up. It plays a little sound effect, and now if you push the button, well, if you hold onto the button, you get this large charging noise, and if you let go, well, I guess it fires off that charge blast. For some reason, I find it a bit louder than when the key's not activated. For example, that sounds nice and quiet. Whereas with this, if I can even find the button, it sounds much louder for some reason. But that's pretty much it for his fire engine mode. Although, there is a little... Well, this guy's technically a triple changer. I'll show what I mean right now. So, to start, lift up both the missile launcher and the water cannon. Open these up. And then move these down. The second bit's just like the first one. And then just move these cannons down, and I'm gonna have to raise my camera, so this is gonna get shaky because I'm holding onto it. This guy's got a flight mode. I'm not joking. Cybertron Optimus Prime is able to join Jetfire in the skies. And he actually uses mode in the show. I'm not joking. I mean, just imagine if you looked up at the sky and you saw a flying fire engine. Yeah, this is a bit ridiculous. Let's just get him back into his regular vehicle modes. There we go. Now, before I get on to the transformation, I'm going to make a couple of comparisons with other Optimus Primes I have. First of all, here's Cybertron Optimus Prime with the Optimus Prime that succeeded him. Here we have movie Optimus Prime. Keep in mind, movie Optimus Prime is the... Well, this guy came out after the Cybertron figure, so... Pretty much, Optimus Prime went from a fire engine to a long-nosed truck. And if you see my review on this guy, you know how much I love this figure. In fact, both these guys also have lights and sounds. These guys both have lights and sounds, is what I'm trying to say. With Cybertron Prime, of course, it's the gun blasts. And with Movie Prime, it's the truck sounds. But yeah, if we just get Cybertron Prime's successor away, poor choice of words, but anyway, here he is with a version of Robots in Disguise Optimus, or the 2015 version. I'm comparing this guy with Cybertron Optimus because, well, the truck cab transforms in a similar way to Cybertron Optimus. You'll see in the robot mode comparison. And finally, here is Cybertron Prime with his predecessors, Armada Prime and Energon Prime. And if I get them in order of... If I get these guys in order of when they were released... So as you can see, throughout the Unicron Trilogy, Optimus Prime went from a long-nosed rig to a short-nosed truck. Well, not rig, but... throughout the Unicron Trilogy, Optimus Prime went from a long-nosed truck to a short-nosed G1 homage truck to a fire truck. So, yeah. Now, of course, my versions of the Armada... I can't even speak. My versions of the Armada and Energon versions of Optimus Prime were the smaller versions. Whereas the Cybertron Prime, he's the full-on mainline big version. If anything, the only small version of Cybertron Prime that they made was the Legends version. There was no deluxe class version of this guy. But, well, we might as well get into his transformation now, because I've got nothing else to say. Well, aside from a complaint. The head is right there, just showing. I mean, it's even a bit too tall to be fully concealed, you see? So his head's just showing. I've got to show you underneath, which of course is just nothing. But let's just get on with this guy's transformation. Well, first I'm just going to remove the trailer section. There we go. And remove this bit as well. So, Cybertron Prime split into 3 components. The actual truck, these little guns, and the trailer section, which is more like a little backpack thing. We'll get into those soon. And before we go on to the transformation, let's have a look at the actual standalone truck without the trailer. As you can see, the cab's the same, although we get a better look at the actual back section, and as you can see, the way the wheels are depicted are actually reversed. Because as you can see, Cybertron Optimus Prime has 4 front wheels, pretty much, and 2 back wheels. Whereas normally with Optimus Primes, it's reversed. Normally it's 2 front wheels and 4 back wheels. So this is actually a pretty cool... Well, it's a pretty cool difference from other Optimus Primes. And there is like a little suspension thing in there. I don't know why. Maybe it's to help keep it like weighted when the trailer's attached, but I don't know. Now, this guy's gonna get tall, so of course I'm going to have to raise my camera. Please excuse me as I guess I'm going to stand my phone. There we go. Now, to get Prime into his standard robot mode, well, start by doing what you do with every Optimus Prime. Move down his legs. I might as well just move his pants down as well. That sounds wrong, but we'll move the crotch plate down. There we go. Split the legs and slide them out so they've got a bit of definition. With the back bit, push it back and orientate it around like so. So it's got a big heel. Do the same with the other leg. And that's his feet already done. Take what was the little side bits and... Well, before I do that, normally the matrix would be in there, but of course I don't have it. Oh well. But take these bits and form his chest windows. Yeah, this doesn't form his chest. But come in here, split the front of the vehicle and move them around so they're actually his arms and shoulders. Take these sections and move them up. Then take the front wheel, move it around so it forms his arm, Oh, well, it forms his hands. And finally, with the lever in the back, lift up Prime's head. So here we have Cybertron Optimus Prime in his standard robot modes. And, well, it's pretty cool. I mean, it is a pretty unique transformation for Optimus Primes, because the front of the vehicle actually forms his shoulders instead of his chest. And having a 360. And we can see the back isn't actually that too hollow, which is amazing. Now having a look at Prime's face, we can see that he's one of those Optimus Primes that actually has a mouth showing. I don't know why, but Hasbro seems to like giving Optimus Prime a mouth nowadays. I have no idea why. I think, if anything, it started with Optimus Primal from Beast Wars. I didn't compare Primal with this guy because, come on. Even though Primal's technically supposed to be a version of Optimus, I mean, come on, he's a freaking gorilla. He's not a truck like the other Optimus Primes I have are. Or just whatever the pool of Optimus Prime is. I can just not speak today. But, long story short, I didn't compare him with Primal because Primal's a gorilla, not a truck like the other, insert plural of Optimus here, I have. But there is a remedy for the mouth. Although this is more for his super modes. If you pull this little lever, he does get his mouth plates. Although that's more for his super mode, which we'll get into soon. Well, for this guy's articulation, heads can move around. The arms can move. With his elbows, they're on ratchets. Of course, sideways elbow action because of the transformation. He can break his elbow thanks to transformation. Can't really T-pose that far, sadly. And his hands can open, which is pretty cool. Nothing at the waist. If you move the crotch plate up, then legs can move up that far. Can go back that far, so he can do a Mario jump. Makes sense with all of his colors. Of course, he's got knees. He's got broken knees, as in he can break his bones if he had any. And if you get the arms out the way, well, if I move these up, and these wheels actually do move up to accommodate for this. You know what's coming if you've seen my other videos. Boom! Prime can do the splits beautifully. I guess you can say it's a beautiful spread. But yeah, I do love how the wheels here actually move out the way to accommodate for that. That is really appreciated. Oh, there we go. Struggling to get them in. So yeah, that's pretty much it for a standard robot mode. Although, for comparison, here he is with his successor, Movie Prime, and I did say in Movie Prime's review that this guy doesn't stand up that well. But here he is with Movie Prime. And as you can see, the movies took Optimus Prime to new heights because, well, not only is he taller, but he's a lot more detailed, and his transformation is a lot more intricate. And as you can see with Movie Prime, his head's a bit more G1 Fateful, because he actually has the mouth plate. A bit ironic considering how Prime in the movie actually and his mouth showing, a bit like the Cybertron figure. But next up, here he is with RID Prime. And as you can see, RID Prime is even taller. And the reason I'm comparing these guys is, as you can see, the front of the vehicle forms the shoulders on both figures, which is why I did that comparison. Finally, here he is with his predecessors, Energon Prime and Armada Prime. And as you can see, he towers over them. Granted, these are the smaller versions of the Energon and Armada characters. For example, the Bendy and Powerlink versions respectively. But he still towers over them. Although, I'm sure if you had the bigger Armada Prime with the trailer combination and the bigger Energon Prime with the drones combined with him, they would probably be around the same size as Cybertron Prime. This is when my throat stops working. But that's not it for Cybertron Optimus Prime. Because as you remembered earlier, we did remove the trailer and these sections. So, let's just get on with this guy's super mode. Because, come on, this is Unicron Trilogy Optimus Prime we're talking about. They always have super modes. So to get this Optimus Prime into his super mode, take what was the back of his legs, move them out again, although this time fold them up again so they form giant boots, and move the foot down so there's not a big gap there. Do the same with the other foot. There we go. So now he's got huge boots, and of course it's making him a bit back heavy now, but it is remedied with these sections. But you split these go around, and I like to just move them down for now, like so. And then what they do is attach onto Prime's legs. So, and now it's not even working for me. It's always when you're on camera, that's when they decide to turn evil on you. Although knowing me, I've probably just got this on wrong. There we go. This one's cooperating. So you attach this thing onto the back of his leg. It attaches using this to go into there. And another little peg goes into that back bit there. I have no idea why this one's not even going in now. There we go. I'll lift these up soon. But then, take what was the trailer section, lift up the water cannon and the missile launcher, straight up open these out, like so. Oh. I'll get Prime out the way for this. And then you turn these around 180 degrees. I'm not even kidding. Turn these around. And then normally you're supposed to lift them up, but I'll do that last. And finally, lift these up like a roller coaster harness. Now, before I attach that onto Optimus, I'll move my camera back. Get the mouth plate up again. And then fold out these little extra earpieces. And then finally, we'll take this entire section And you want to feed these little sections into the gaps around here. Of course, this is easier said than done, so if you just excuse me, as it's easier to do this off camera. There we go. Lift these bits up. Lift up the leg cannons. If you can reach, because there we go. And finally, close these bits back up. And here we have Optimus Prime in his super mode. Oh my god, this guy's gigantic. I mean, he does gain a better height with the legs flipping around. And as you can see, he gets these really cool looking wings. Those are just awesome looking. Now, one thing I'm not a fan of is the underarm weapons. I so wish that, I don't know, they could detach and become handheld weapons, but I'm just stretching for complaints here. .360s, just like how it was, although now we got the big wing backpack. So yeah, articulation is pretty much the same, but still has the hair, still has the arms. The legs can still do everything, although the splits is a bit now. The splits is even more hindered with these. So yeah, but articulation is just like how it was with the standard robots. The gimmick still works. The Cyberkey gimmick still works. I'll just demonstrate with. I'll just demonstrate with this cannon. If you can just listen, so you can still have the loud charging blast. And the missile launchers still do work, although as you can see it's a bit hindered by the leg cannon. So yeah. Now, once again, for comparison, movie Optimus. And as we can see, well, Cybertron Prime's now a bit, well, not a bit. He's definitely I have no idea what I'm saying anymore. Well, he's gone tall in a movie Prime, definitely. And keep in mind, this is before Jetfire was in the movies. Here he is with RID Prime. Still taller, although, well, he's still taller, but at least, well, at least Cybertron Prime's a better figure. Let's leave it at that. And finally, the puny Armada and Energon Primes. So now we have the entire Unicron Trilogy collection of Optimus Primes. Not counting the bigger figures for the first two, but I mean, what with super mode, this guy makes these two figures. So keep in mind, they don't have super modes because they're the smaller figures. It makes these two guys look like midgets in comparison. So, this is pretty much it for my review on Cybertron Optimus Prime. I mean, complaints, I mean, I do have a few. Because, come on, no Transformers figure is actually perfect. Not even Masterpiece figures are perfect. But, I mean, the head showing in the vehicle mode, that's a pet peeve. The super mode transformation can get a bit complicated at times because things can get in the way. And these leg bits are a bit too loose, so sometimes you can just droop forwards. Although, do I recommend Cybertron Optimus Prime? Oh, what do you think? Of course I do. This guy and movie Optimus Prime are my favorite Optimus Prime figures so far. I mean, this guy is amazing. Like he looks badass when you're displaying him. Not to mention, the Cybertron figures in general were pretty good. And this is one of the best Cybertron figures in my opinion. Hell, one of the best Optimus Prime figures. Well, this is pretty much it for my review on this guy. And this is it for my reviews of 2020. It's been a rough year, but let's just hope that 2021 is gonna get better. This has been it for my review on Cybertron Optimus Prime. This is Charlie Young signing off, and I'll see you all in 2021. Here's to a better year.